Alright guys, it's time for Archfiend's Choices to Archfiend's Choice Part 2. For lack of a better term, that's the title we're going with on these. Anyway, watch that video I made on Friday because this video will make little to no sense to you. Anyways, I'll post this as a video response and you can click it underneath, whatever. Alright, first thing that I want to say, I appreciate all the feedback that you guys gave, the number of you that partook in this answer of 3 random questions with 2 possible answers. I really dug that you guys got into this and gave in-depth examples of why you would choose option A over option B. But one thing that I just want to say is, in that video I made on Friday, I said, this is all just hypothetical, there's no right or wrong. You're to choose either option A or option B. I don't know why so many of you heard me say that in the video and then just went and created your own scenario as an answer. I don't know why so many of you said, well, I would take the gun and shoot the guy. I would try and free myself. I would wait for the cops to come. I just want to know, to those people that did that, when you saw me say in the video, either choose option A or option B, you know, don't say something like the cops showed up, wait for lightning to strike, anything like that. Like, why did you hear that part of the video and just ignore it? Anyway, I digress. The majority of you gave very good feedback, took this seriously as you can take a hypothetical situation dealing with death or money. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Now, before I give my absolute answers, some of these I'll just give my absolute answers on, but I just want to kind of devil's advocate some of these answers because, or the rationale to choose one option over the other, because so many of you guys out there said, well, this one's a no-brainer, that one's a no-brainer too. Like, these aren't supposed to be no-brainer type questions. Now, they might be circumstantially for you based on the variables that you put forth. But the point of these is that it should be a somewhat tough decision between the two, and you shouldn't be able to say, oh, well, duh, of course the option's A. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try and devil's advocate either choosing option A or B against what I would personally choose myself, to show you that, yes, there is a number of circumstances where you could absolutely choose one answer over the other, which I'm going to start off with on the first question, which was, you either shoot the stranger that walks around the corner and kill them, and the madman behind you has a gun to you, or he's going to just, you know, basically give you the orders to either shoot that stranger that walks around the corner, or you don't do it and he blows up a busload of school children. So many of you used a line out there that I take issue with, and that is, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one, therefore the stranger must die. I guarantee a number of you out there that said the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one would change your answer if I said, alright, you either shoot the stranger or the madman blows up the busload of convicts from the county jail. Now, I guarantee you, a number of you would be like, oh, well, it's just convicts, it's just convicted felons. Hell, blow it up. Do the world a favor. Even though their situation doesn't warrant immediate death, I'd ask you, how can the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one if some of you guys would probably say, yeah, blow up the school bus of convicts? So what I'm basically trying to do is, things aren't exactly set in stone for choosing one answer over the other. And to all of you that said you would kill the stranger, when you said that, was the fear of going to jail at all on your mind? Because I hate to break it to you guys, but whether or not you were somehow asked to do a murder against your will or not, that's still murder. you're going to go to jail. Now, I don't know, you might be in a kooky county in this world, and you might have a jury that has a shitload of sympathy for you, but odds are you're going to jail. You killed an innocent human being. At the least, that's third-degree murder. You're looking at least 10 years in jail. Did you at all have the fear of that on your mind when you said you would kill the stranger over letting the busload of school children die? Because I can tell you right now, my answer for this is option B. I would let the guy blow up the school bus full of children. Now, I think we can all come into an agreement here that the ideal situation would be for us wanting no one to die. We don't know any of the participants in this, be it the stranger walking around the corner or this, what are the stranger children on this bus. So, I would ideally want no one to die. In this situation, I would basically say, I'm sorry, I cannot kill another human being. And on top of that, I don't want to go to jail. I just flat out do not want to go to jail. If that is selfish of me to say that over the possibility of the kids being killed, well then I'm sorry. That's part of what would make my decision. But overall, it's just, I could not kill another human being with my own hands. Which is why I would stick with option B, because the decision is not mine. Be it indirectly, it is mine. I am not directly pressing that button that blows up the school bus. Yes, I understand. A lot of young children would die based on my decision. I would just try and rationalize it to the victim's parents that I really had no idea someone could be this insane, that would just kill with such reckless abandonment. But in my mind, I would also rationalize it in children die all the time. And it's a circumstance that was out of my control, and I ultimately didn't make that final decision to kill the children. It was the guy pressing the button. Now again, I know you're going to say, well, you kind of did because you didn't kill the stranger, therefore the button was pressed. But again, that's the thing. None of these are definite answers. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like the term, this is a no-brainer, shouldn't be used with these answers. So again, to those of you that said you would kill the stranger, was the fear of jail at all on your mind? And if it wasn't and it was now, would you change your answer? So anyway, I guess we can kind of get more questions out of these three original questions. All right, the second scenario that I gave you guys in that video on Friday was you're trapped in the bottom of a pit, a pool, something underground with the person that you love and adore, cherish, whatever the case may be, more than anyone else on this planet, be it a best friend, a companion, a wife, a husband, brother, sister, etc. You're trapped with them in the bottom of this pit, and a killer says you're to either kill yourself with the gun that you have in your hand, or you don't kill yourself and he floods the hole and you both die. Now, in both situations, you are dying. That much is established. And again, to those of you that said, well, I would try and shoot the chains or shoot the killer, that's not what we're trying to figure out here. Anyway, you're dying no matter what in this situation. All right, this is about as morbid as it gets because there's no happy ending for you, no matter what. So many of you said it would be so selfish if you did not kill yourself to let the other person live. Now, what I want to try and do here is I want to try and do the devil's advocate thing here and explain to you how it can be seen as more selfish if you didn't kill yourself. All right, let's say this loved one that you have down with you, this friend, this whatever, let's say the moment of decision has to come to be made and you're getting ready to put the gun to your head and the person says to you, please don't do this. I can't go on without you. You are the only thing good in my life. I have no other friends or family to look up to. I don't know what I'm going to do in this world without you. And you go, well, that's too bad, but I got to do this so you can live. Folks, that is about as fucking selfish as you can get. If this person is basically begging and pleading to you to not have you leave this world and for them to deal with the immense suffering, and again, I don't think people had on their mind the amount of immense suffering that you would have to endure to see the person that you cherish in this world more than anything else kill themselves in front of you. My God, that has got to be such a psychological mind fuck to see that. I can't imagine the amount of sorrow and grief that I would find. Again, what if you took this person under your wing? What if you were their one inspiration in life and they begged of you to not leave? They could not live without you. Would you be so selfish as to put that gun to your head and kill yourself so that they have to go on the rest of their life in immense suffering and pain? So for people that would have a circumstance like that and their cherished one would rationalize to them like that, then yes, it is an absolute better option to say, I don't want to kill myself. Put us both out of our immediate misery and let us die. So there is an absolute possibility that option B, to let you both die, could certainly be picked. But with that being said, I would choose option A. Now, again, this circumstantially may change if I said, if I did find if I was in that pit with a person that basically said, I couldn't live without you. I have nothing else in this world to really look up to. You were all that I admired and adored. I'd be like, fair enough. Then I will make the decision to kill both of us. But right now, I would just try my best to say, please be strong from this. Please go on and know that I did this because I love you, I cherish you. Please try and continue on without letting this ruin your life. And if they could assure me in that brief moment that they could, then yes, I would choose option A. But again, both options are perfectly acceptable here. And again, there's no wrong answer to either of these questions. So, right on to question number 3, which was just a ridiculous billionaire that's notorious for giving away large amounts of money comes up to you and says, I'll give you $50,000 right now, or I'll flip a coin, you call it in the air. If you call it correctly, you get $1 million. If you don't call it correctly, you get nothing. Again, so many people were like, well, it's a no-brainer. You take definite money. You never in life turn down definite money, which I agree. I absolutely agree. You can't turn down definite money in life to an extent. Now, this is something that is really circumstantial to the individual. And a number of people said this and said, well, I'm pretty well off right now. $50,000 wouldn't make that much of a difference, so why not go for $1 million? Because $1 million would make a huge impact to one's personal life. I tend to agree with that. Right now, I'm pretty well off. I would like $50,000. Who wouldn't like $50,000? But in the grand scheme of things, it really wouldn't make that much of a difference to my life. It would, maybe help me, pay off my house a little bit faster. Other than that, I'm still getting the house paid off. So why not take a 50-50 shot of winning $1 million? So I would choose option B there. So for those of you keeping score at home, I went with option B, option A, and then option B. When I was looking through the answers, and this is what you want to see when you pose 3 questions like this, when you ask a group of people, you don't want to see everyone saying, oh, I would go AAA, I would go AAA, I would go AAA. Now, there was pretty much every conceivable interchanging of A and B being picked here. So many people, would choose to keep the money, choose to kill both of their loved one and themselves and shoot the strangers. Anyway, I was very pleased with the results that we rendered here, for lack of a better term, in this social experiment. And I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed seeing the feedback and how serious a lot of you guys took it. And again, when we do this again, people, which we will do this again, please stick with option A or option B. There is no shooting the guy. There is no trying to free yourself. There is no, well, the other person probably would want to commit suicide more than I would, so I'll shoot them so I can live. None of that shit. When we do this again, people, and I'll stress this again, choose either option A or option B. With that being said, thank you to all of you guys that, took part, like I said, in this social experiment. And if now me discussing this here with you guys, did any of you have an answer that you'd want to change based on what I said or what you saw someone else say in the comments? Because I know I saw a couple people saying like, oh, you know what, that person a few comments down did make a good point. I was going to go one way, but I went the other. Anyway, does the discussion here make you change your mind on anything? So anyway, again, no right or wrong answers in these, people. Just because I chose my specific answers doesn't mean it's any better than any of yours. So we will definitely do this again, and it will definitely be before 3.5 years like the last Archfiend's Choice video. So everyone, have a fantastic day, a better tomorrow, and don't shoot any strangers. Unless it's to save a busload of children. Have a great day, guys.